Hey everybody, welcome to Swan Presents.
Hello.
We're back here again. My name's Bailey.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Travis, and this is episode 2. We're back in the Brick House, and it's a really exciting episode.
We've got a great show for you tonight. We have 3 artists. We have Willy Gantrim, he's with us in the studio, and we also met up with 2 former New Yorkers who now live in Nashville. They are Tasjan and Hannah Fairlight.
Sweet, so all of our musicians have obviously some wonderful music to share with us, some great stories, and without further ado, here's Willy Gantrim.
Willy, how's it going?
It's good.
Thanks for being in the studio with us today.
Thank you for having me.
We want to talk a little bit with you about your life, how you got into music, all these things.
Cool.
Willy, I know you mainly through, all these excellent, players at the Jalopy and at Brooklyn Rod Gun Club and like a lot of the sort of like folk singers around here. And this is music that I love. How did you get to New York from Texas?
I went to school for a couple semesters, but the classic, I didn't go to class, and then I dropped out, and then I moved to Milwaukee, and I don't know, I lived in an attic in Milwaukee for about a year and a half, maybe. That's actually where I discovered most of like the music that like hit me. I was working in a casino at the time.
Were you a musician at that point in time?
A bad one. I never had a teacher, so I would sit in the attic and, I don't know, record myself on one of those like, little tape recorders.
Yeah.
And then when I read 2 books, one was the Bob Dylan's Chronicles, and another one was The Mayor of MacDougal Street about Dave Van Ronk. And that just kind of hit me again, and I, took a Greyhound bus and came here to New York, and I didn't know anybody. And then, but then luckily almost a year later, I ran into Farrell Foster in Washington Square Park where he was busking. And we hit it off, and we just started playing music together, and then we started a show on MacDougal Street, which is a strange coincidence. Yeah, it's called Roots and Ruckus, the show, but now it's at the Jalopy, and through that we've met so many different musicians, and we grew together as musicians and learned a lot of the same songs and things like that.
If people want to check out your music and hear more of you, where do they go?
Just myname.com. WillyGantrim.com.
You have willygantrim.com.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah. Nobody wanted that one.
Please stick around for Willy's performance. Bailey, what's going on next?
Aaron Lee Tasjan moved to New York as a young, promising guitarist just trying to live the dream. He quickly became familiar with the ever-evolving music scene on Manhattan's Lower East Side, and at one point his band had a pretty memorable opening act. So here's Aaron with some insights into performing.
I have not felt so good since 1993.
When I first got to New York, I eventually found some like-minded folks, and we started this band together called Semi-Precious Weapons, and we were like a garage glam, punk rock. We played at CBGB's, we played all those places. We were always trying to find somebody who could open for us that was any good, and we never could find anybody. And then we had this manager who one day came into us. He said, there's these 2 girls that have been playing around town that I think could open for you guys that would be pretty good. And we were like, okay, well, what? He goes, well, it's these 2 girls. They're called Lady Gaga and Lady Starlight. We went to see Lady Gaga not perform, but DJ upstairs at pianos. And we walked in the room, and there was nobody in there. And it was like a Tuesday night, and there was like 4 of us, it was a couple of the guys from the band. She was playing songs and dancing around, and all of a sudden, she started playing a song, and she starts dancing, and then she goes and gets up. There's this long bench along the wall, and she goes and gets up on this bench and starts doing these dance moves. And then she goes to do a leg kick, and she grabs the curtain that was sitting behind the bench with her hands like that, and goes to kick her leg up like this. And the curtain wasn't very secure. And she totally wiped out, like fell off the bench, curtain came down on top of her, and it was like a cartoon, you know, where you just see this lump kind of crawling around like underneath the thing. And I just thought, this is the fucking chick that should be opening for us, man. Like, she's unbelievable, you know, like because she got right back up and started dancing like nothing happened at all. And I just thought, man, that's cool. Like, I like somebody that's not afraid to, you know, because I mean, the truth of the matter is, it's like any type of performance you do, you're getting up there and risking embarrassment every time. But that's part of the magic of it, you know, because it's like you're trying to kind of transcend that mindset of being worried about what people think of you. You know, the guys that are doing it for real don't give a shit, and that's what's cool. And so I thought she was really cool like that, and I wasn't surprised at all that she went on to be as successful as she was, because I knew, even though what she was doing at the time musically wasn't the level of quality that where she ended up, you know, with her first record, which is obviously fantastic stuff, but it was, you know, it was just it was a totally different thing. And if you just saw it musically, you wouldn't quite get it. But like at the time, she just had such a great personality, and she was such a like spirited, you know, she just had a lot of passion, and I thought that was really cool.
Did they open for you?
She did, yeah, they did open for us like 3 or 4 times. Her parents came, her dad was really nice, he was really a cool guy, and they did great, and it was really cool. And about a year later, we went to Toronto to play a music video festival that was held inside of a tattoo parlor. And we were driving around the city, and there were posters of her up everywhere. And we were just like, man, this chick's gonna be huge, you know? Yeah. And she was. I mean, it was not, you know, a month later or whatever that the song Just Dance or whatever it was, the first big hit she had, that was out on the radio, and she was going, man. Yeah. She was just rocking it. So that was one of my first memories of moving to New York. This is a song off of my record called Crooked River Burning. And the name of the song is Don't Walk Away, I'm Talking to You. Oh Lord, not another mistake. Shook so hard, I got them shakes. Drank enough drink to kill 10 men. Go back and do it again. Faith in myself is a train to ride. Giving up a seat when the ticket gets high. Everybody runs out of reasons to cry. Living the dream or the lie. So don't walk away, but don't walk away. Don't you walk away, I'm talking to you. But don't walk away, don't you walk away. Don't you walk away, I'm talking to you. I sit back and wait to see what becomes of a used to be. Cigarettes not Dylan go electric now. That's how radio sounds. Where does a sad song go to cry? You sing it so much the words get shy. It turns out nothing but another hard try to shut up and keep hope alive. So don't walk away, but don't walk away. Don't you walk away, I'm talking to you. But don't walk away, don't you walk away. Don't you walk away, I'm talking to you. Walk the path, but watch the corner. And you could use the danger as a ride. When all that trouble's in your dreaming, there is no way to step aside. rest in the arms of another day. I can't stay with it, but I wanna stay. Wanna have heart, but I think too much. Nothing like using a crutch. Well, somebody knows how to shake those hands, kiss those rings, make those fans. Those kind of people I just can't stand, watching them faking a tan. So don't walk away, don't you walk away, don't you walk away, I'm talking to you. But don't walk away, don't you walk away, don't you walk away, I'm talking to you. All right. Cool.
Friends will make merry and drink up your wine. Keep on, keep on. Let flow your sherry, but bear this in mind. Keep on, keep on. A true friend is hard to find. Always be wary, but never unkind. Keep on, keep on, keep on. Well, once I was giving of all my heart's love. Keep on, keep on. I go on living, but no more it does. Keep on, keep on. And what does this all prove? No use in grieving, just rising above. Keep on, keep on, keep on. And always respecting the foe that's within. Keep on, keep on. Go on expecting the truth of a grin. Keep on. But if you go all in, don't go rejecting love if you don't win. Keep on, keep on, keep on.
Hannah Fairlight has always been a musician, but it's never been a job, just a hobby. But ever since she landed a spot on a new A&E docuseries, Crazy Hearts Nashville, she's finding that music just might be a career option. Here's her story.
Let me tell you what you gotta do. You just gotta whisper sweet things. Whisper sweet things. All I want is your love and attention. I don't need no downgrade.
I heard about a TV show that was going to be happening, and I had the opportunity to do an audition tape. So I made some phone calls and said, can I do this too? Because I know a few people in production from the company that's producing it. And so I got to do an audition tape, and A&E really liked what I brought to the table, so I got to be on this show, Crazy Hearts Nashville. And it's an A&E show. It's about musicians trying to make it in the Nashville scene. Nashville's very in vogue right now, so that opportunity has been probably one of the biggest opportunities for exposure I've ever had. So I've just had a ball shooting. I mean, it's been very hard work, but it's been cool because I've done sound on TV for 7 years, and now to be able to be on the other side of the camera and show off some of my personalities, it's been really fun. I like it. It was like a job, you know? It's a job. I treated it like that. Try to show up on time, try to dress cool, try to be myself, be honest. I think you can't really not be honest. The bottom line is you're gonna trip yourself up if you try to imagine what people are gonna perceive you as. You just have to be yourself, and if you're confident in who you are and your character, then you'll be fine. So, my life has changed drastically. I feel like the same exact person, but since the show has aired, it's been strange to come home to my apartment and have a lot of people kind of waiting, or they see me come home and they like try to get me to sign things, or little kids are like, hey Hannah, and they're like starstruck by me, and I'm like, it's so weird, it's just me, like, hey, you know, but, or, oh, my cousin's a producer and stuff like that. So that aspect of it is strange. I feel like this is the most pressure I've ever felt in my life to take all of my work level up a notch, or like several notches, because it's really the beginning of the real work. Because with this kind of exposure, the pressure to have your ducks in a row, to have professional management, to use the exposure and the leverage of the show to make my music career get to the next level, especially in these times of weirdness with the music industry. It's all something I've been trying to pounce on. It's been a big challenge. In fact, I've probably had the biggest challenges I've ever had in my life. But I love it. These are good challenges to have. I have all good problems right now. So yeah, I feel okay. Hey, so we're back here with Willy after his performance. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. So we're going to talk about some of Willy's influences. Willy, who are some of your biggest influences as a musician?
I got to cross that.
Well, first off is the guy who started it off for me. His name's Blind Willie McTell. That's him.
Cool.
He was famous for playing his 12-string guitar. You
Yeah,
can see
that looks like a lot of
6 pegs here, 6 pegs there. He was an amazing guitar player and one of my favorite singers. And I just tried to sing like him when I was first learning how to play.
Cool. Around what time was he playing?
He was recorded mostly in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. He was actually really smart because he would record with different record companies under different pseudonyms. And in that way, he could just record. I think he recorded hundreds of tracks. Next up is Charlie Patton, the king of the Delta blues.
Nice.
He was a great entertainer.
Looks like he's utilizing a slide.
Yeah, he used to actually, he's holding the guitar strangely like that in his lap. He used to play it like that. So he played a lot of slide stuff. He was like in his 30s in the 1920s, so he was one of the older guys. And they didn't just play blues; they played all kinds of rags and I don't know,
cool.
just folk songs. But they're mainly known for playing blues these days, just because that's what became popular with like the Rolling Stones and
Right.
Led Zeppelin, all those guys.
How did you come across Charlie Patton's music?
After I heard Blind Louie McTell, I started looking and listening to more of those old recordings, you know.
Yeah.
And he just stood out to me, his originality and his skill level on guitar. He's an amazing guitar player.
Cool.
One of the greatest.
Hey, good looking, what you got cooking?
What's the next ingredient in Willy soup?
Next up is the king of country music,
Whoa.
Hank Williams. Wow, he has a big head.
It's very clean
He,
lines.
another one of my favorite singers, and I tried to sing like him for a long time, as I'm sure thousands of people have,
Yeah.
and thousands of people will.
We'll continue to, yeah.
But the thing I mostly admire about him, I think, is his songwriting. He wrote hundreds of songs.
What's your favorite Hank Williams tune?
Oh, God. Ramblin' Man is a great song. He also did Your Cheatin' Heart, Cold, Cold Heart, I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive.
Cheerful
it's
tunes,
like-
right? Very.
He
yeah.
wasn't known for being the happiest guy, no. But
Cool.
he had his reasons.
Yeah. As we do.
This is the great Captain Beefheart, also known as Don Van Vliet. I really admire his voice. He had the whole package, you know, his voice. He was really influenced, you can tell, by Howlin' Wolf, who's an old blues guy from Chicago. But, you know, he had his own spin on it, and he was also an amazing songwriter. He pretty much was one of the originators of the whole psychedelia. He was just such a weird guy in himself.
He looks like he's looking for something
He
deeply.
He was a very mysterious guy. He also was an amazing painter. And he actually gained a lot of notoriety for that after
That's cool.
in his later years.
Yeah.
The next guy, Leonard Cohen. Yeah, that's him.
There
He has written so many amazing songs. He started out as a poet. He was a published poet. He moved to New York in the 60s, and actually, I think he didn't become a musician until he was in his late 30s or something.
That's interesting.
And actually, he's not conventionally considered a good singer, but he's also one of my favorite singers.
A good singer.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's actually still performing too.
Nice.
I haven't seen him, but I really want to.
What's
someday.
What's your favorite Leonard Cohen song?
There's a song called Hallelujah that is really probably one of his best known songs.
Right.
What else? Dance Me to the End of Love is another one. He's had a really long career, so
Cool.
you can't really.
Yeah, it's hard to pinpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks so much, Willy, for coming in, playing music
Thanks for having me.
for us, and talking with us at length. For more info on Willy, if you want to hear some of his music or grab his album, you can check out willygantrim.com.
Willy with a Y.
Willy with a Y.
Yeah.
Inside Gowanus' industrial landscape lies a vintage lover's heaven. The second floor of this Butler Street warehouse is a real sight for sore eyes. With its sprawling antique selection, Retrofret is part guitar shop and part museum. And after you get over a little sticker shock, a guitarist is provided with a unique experience to see and play beautiful sounding instruments from all the top names. Gibson, Guild, and Epiphone, and even some of the lesser known names. But they're all one-of-a-kind heirloom quality string instruments, guitars from the 1910s and 20s, mandolins, ukuleles, and even Renaissance lutes. But Retrofret doesn't hate on the electric revolution either. They've got a room dedicated to electric guitars and basses. It's a great stop for serious players, or even somebody just looking for a good experience.
Thanks so much for
Hey,
watching.
guys.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
This has been Paper Swan Presents.
Paper Swan Presents.
Thanks to Brick House. Thanks to our amazing artists.
Willy Gantrim, Hannah Fairlight, Tasjan. That's
Incredible.
episode number 2 in the can.
Incredible. In the can.
Thanks for watching.
Who's next, Jason? Wait, this just in.
This just in. Next episode, we've got Crushed Out, an
Crushed
incredible
Out!
band.
Oh!
They're going to be in the studio.
It's gonna be awesome.
You got to watch it.
Check out our website for more videos, more information. That's paperswan.com. Email swan@paperswan.com.
Look it up.
Because we
Bye.
want to hear
Bye.
from you.
See
Bye.
you soon. Good night.